All right, hello everybody. This is Antoinette speaking. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. I'm very excited to break down with you guys the information. Make sure you have a pen and paper or save this video so you can play it over and over and over again. But today, guys, we're going to go through how to use the NationzFX indicator. I'm going to tell you exactly how I use it, how I'm profitable. I've been using this for months and months and months. And it is very good. And trading in itself is a very lucrative business to get into. I've been trading since 2019 consistently, literally full time. I don't do anything else. I have a few businesses that were funded by Forex, but trading is my bread and butter, and I'm really excited to share that with you all. So we're going to go over a guide to securing profits and actually using the indicator to be successful. I'm going to show you guys how to understand the market, some Forex terminology, winning strategies, and a breakdown. I am going to share my screen and show you guys the actual indicator in action, but before we get to that actual tool, I want to make sure you guys understand at least the foundation of Forex. And if you're an experienced trader, watch this anyways, okay? Because I may say some things that you've never heard before, or sometimes you got to hear things 50 times for it to really click. So just make sure you also listen to the basics of Forex and the breakdown that I have in regards to that, okay? So first of all, what is Forex? Largest financial market in the world. Essentially, we buy and sell different currency pairs in this market in order to profit, okay? How we make money is we predict the right move before it actually happens. So if we think the market is going up, we place a buy. We think it's going down, we place a sell. And if we are correct with our prediction, we actually end up making money. So the indicator, guys, essentially makes a prediction for us based on a number of intricate factors. So a lot of traders out there, they have a few confirmations. They may not have everything, but they know that based on this, the market's going to go up. They buy it, they end up making money, but they could also be wrong. Okay. And a lot of times with humans, we have emotions, there's psychology, all that stuff comes into play. But when you have a powerful indicator, there's no emotions tied to it. It's just looking at what the actual market is doing. So that is why it's such a powerful tool to use. And when people say something like, oh, well, I could look at this and that on the chart on my own without a tool and trade on my own. I mean, sure, but emotions come into play. Things happening in your life, you're not really understanding what a doji candle is, what a reversal candle is. All these candles you see on the screen, like you not understanding how to read it comes into play. There's a candle book Bible where you can actually understand and learn all these different candle patterns. But I mean, it's 2023. Like, why do that when you have technology that will literally scan these candle patterns for you and tell you whether to buy or sell based on them? And that's one thing the indicator does as well. So it's going to look at support resistance. It's going to look at the candle patterns. It's going to look at past trends, reversals. It literally looks at all that for you and does the calculation for you. That is why it's so accurate. But in addition to it, you also have to know a little bit about Forex and a little bit about how it goes yourself. So as a complete beginner, can you use this? Yes. As an expert, can you use this? Absolutely. Okay, it's just gonna further your skills in trading. Now, like I said, certain terminology, certain things you need to know. For example, support and resistance. Okay, this indicator is not as simple as when you're at a resistance, an arrow is gonna pop up and you sell. When you're at a support, an arrow is gonna pop up and you buy. It's not that simple. The indicator does not work like that. It'll map out extreme, like very good. I'll show you guys an imagery in a second, but it will map out support and resistance zones. This does not necessarily mean it wants you to take trades only at those zones. I will explain that in a second, but let's understand what it means. So when we're looking at support and resistance, guys, support occurs when falling prices stop, change direction, and begin to rise. So support is often viewed as the floor. Okay, so let's go back to this picture here. This is our support. This is the floor. Now, when we go to resistance, it's a price level where prices stop and change direction and begin to fall. So we have our resistance right here. Price stopped, it changed direction, began to fall. So our support, price moved up, resistance, price falls. Support, price moves up, resistance, price falls. Okay, now the most basic way how support and resistance is normally traded is some traders will trade at the bounce. Okay, so you buy when the price falls towards your support and you sell when the price falls towards your resistance. So some traders will say, oh, amazing, the market reached my support, I'm going to buy. Normally that could work out, right? And then you get up buying at your support to your resistance and selling up here. Other traders now, they will trade at the break. So they'll actually buy when the price breaks through resistance and sell when the price breaks through support. So these are two strategies you can use with the indicator, and either strategy is very lucrative. You can choose one with depending on the type of strategy you like to choose. You can choose to be the trader that says, okay, like for example, let's look at this here, right? For a very long time, this was our support. Okay. Now, some traders will wait for the market to come here and actually break the support to go in for a sell. So, like as of right here, you could be a trader that's looking to break your support zone and go for a sell at the break, or you're a trader that's looking for that rejection for the buy. Either way, the indicator is going to map out what you should do. Personally, I am a support and resistance trader in the sense that I buy at support and I sell at resistance. To me, it's just the easiest thing for me. I mean, sometimes depending on the trend, I may enter more positions at the break, but I'm always going to go with the trend, and that's the type of trader that I am. The only time I would ever buy at a resistance is if I'm looking at the past and it was a previous support. I'll get into that in a second, but understanding the basics, floor, ceiling, you'll do great with this indicator. Okay, so I recommend sell at resistance, buy at support. All right, and again, it's not going to be as simple as when you get to support, buy. No, it's not going to be as simple as when you see a green arrow, just buy. I will show you guys exactly how to be very profitable, but understanding support and resistance, very important. Now, another thing that's really important is understanding market movement. The market really only moves in three directions, guys. It moves up, it moves down, and it moves sideways. It ranges, okay? I always trade with the trend. I always trade with the trend. Even if I'm using the indicator, personally, I want to trade with the trend. So if I'm looking at a chart, and let's say I'm looking at gold, which I'll show you guys in a moment. If gold is in an overall downtrend, I'm only looking for verified resistance zones so that I can sell. I'm only looking for gold to hit my resistance zone so I can sell. Now, gold might be at a verified support, but it's in an overall downtrend. What does that mean? It means that I can be at a support area, but because I'm in a downtrend, it easily breaks and I lose that trade. That's what it could mean. So I always trade with the trend. I don't care what time frame I'm on. I always find that my win rate is higher going with the trend on every time frame. So you have to look at the trend as well. Now, what I look at before I trade with the indicator, guys, one, like I just mentioned, overall trend. Am I in an uptrend or am I in a downtrend? If I'm in an uptrend, I want to look for those buys. I only want to buy. I want to buy when the market retraces. And if I'm in a downtrend, I want to look for those sells. Okay, support and resistance, which I explained. I look for the zones. The indicator maps this out for you, but I do an extra confirmation of what the indicator shows me, which I'll show you in a second. But it does map out support and resistance, so I want to look for that as well, because if I'm in an uptrend, okay, and I'm looking for buys, I only want to buy at the support. If I'm in a downtrend looking for sells, I only want to buy at the resistance. So I want to look for those zones. Chart patterns. I'm always I always say the market always repeats itself. Okay, so I always look at past patterns to see, okay, well, when was the market at this resistance? And what happened when it was here before? So I always go back in time and I look at that, which I'll show you guys as well. News events, forexfactory.com. I always want to make sure that I'm not trading during news, or I'm not in a trade while news is coming. Some people like to trade news. You can definitely do that, but I find that it could affect results just a little bit with the indicator if you're on a lower time frame. If you're trading on like the 4-hour time frame, you'll notice that news actually lines up with the indicator. So for those long swings, it's good. But if you're looking for a quick in out move, you don't want to be trading during news for sure, because you don't want to be holding the trade too long once you're actually in news. Okay, so right now, I'm actually going to open up MT4 and show you guys the indicator and just break down, give you a visual of what I look for, trades that I would take, trades that I've taken this week, trades that students have taken this week, and show you guys that for a second. So let's pull that up. So guys, here we have the actual indicator in action. So a few things. I'm on the 5-minute time frame. I'll show you guys, how it looks when you switch to different time frames. But one thing I want to recommend, once you get the indicator and you drag the files onto the chart, just do a little right click here and press grid.
So you can see that grid puts all these boxes on my chart. I don't like how it looks messy. I like it looking very nice and clear. So I press grid and I get rid of all those lines and stuff. Okay. Now, first things first, we're gonna talk about the zones, kind of what gold did today. I caught a sell. I actually caught the sell from 1910 right here where the indicator said to sell, and I'm still holding it right now. It's at 1888 right now. That's what the market is. I actually sent a picture of this in Telegram. Let me actually show you guys this trade that I caught, a live visual. So you guys can see I took these two sells based on the indicator. I mean, this is like a little over 100 pips caught here, guys. 1910 to 1888 on gold, two lot. I'm making about over $4 grand a trade. The indicator is only $4.99 to get, guys, one time. Plus, you join our community where we support you 24/7. But this is these are the results that you can most definitely get. Let's go back to how I caught this trade, everything I looked for to catch this trade, and then I'll break down how you can look for these setups as well. So I got the indicator here. Once again, you guys saw my profits. Now let's look at exactly what I did to actually enter that trade. And just so you guys know, those are my two swings that I'm been holding for 2 days now, but it has not even gone back to my entry. As you can see, gold dropped from 1910 here, and it's literally just been dropping all week. And I'll show you how I knew that even despite these buy arrows, I knew gold was going to continue to drop. Okay, so like I told you guys before, I look for my confirmations. First thing I want to see is what is the trend? What trend are we in, guys? You guys can see right here on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, on the 30 minute, gold is in an overall downtrend. I'm getting lower highs. Okay, I'm getting every time the market pushes up, I'm getting a bigger push down. This is an overall downtrend. So what does that mean? I am looking for sells only. I like to trade on the 15 minute, 30 minute, and the 1 hour. Mainly 15 minute though, guys, is the time frame I like to trade on, especially if I don't really want to hold trades too long. The 4 hour is great for swings, and then you have the 5 and 1 minute that's also great for short-term trades. But because I'm in a downtrend, I do not care what time frame I'm on. I'm only looking for sells. Okay, so one, I'm still in a downtrend. Two, I want to look for those support and resistance zones. So as you guys can see here, gold does not have a support zone right now on the chart on the 15 minute. Okay, why is that? Because the indicator understands we are in a huge downtrend for a very long time now. So all I'm seeing are resistance zones, verified resistance. So what do I want to do? Gold is in a downtrend. The indicator showing me verified resistance. I want to wait for the market to hit my verified resistance zones so I can catch big moves. Okay, even on the smaller time frames now. Let's go to the smaller time frame. For those who don't want to wait too long, we have also untested resistance and weak resistance. Now, because I'm in an overall downtrend, I still want to use these resistance zones to enter for a sell. So a few minutes ago, the market was actually below our weak resistance. The market starts pushing up. The indicator can see, okay, I keep getting a resistance here. All right, now there's a yellow arrow pointing downwards. So essentially for a short term, right here, when the arrow appeared at 1890, you could have caught the sell, okay, which is now at 1888. So about 20 pips you could have caught right here on gold, just very short and out the market if you're scalping, okay? Here we have an untested support, which essentially means to buy. Now, would I buy here? No, absolutely not. Why? The market's in a downtrend. What am I looking for? I'm only looking for sales. So right here at my resistance, personally, I would not take this sell at the weak resistance only because I'm not really too much of a short-term scalper. I would go on the 15 minute, and this is just me personally because I'm patient when it comes to trading, and I would wait to hit my verified resistance zone. However, this does not mean you can't trade on the 5 or 1 minute and catch those quick scalps. You definitely can because it's still very accurate. As you can see here, if I was on the 5 minute and I saw this arrow and I caught the sell, I'd be in profit right now, and it's just dropping, and it's most likely going to drop to my untested support and go back up. Okay, now another reason why I would take this sell if I was a short-term trader is normally support turns into resistance. So as you guys can see here, I'll show you guys what that means. Right here, this was a support level. If you look right here, 1889 was a support level for a while. Gold kept dropping into this zone and it kept, let me put my line here so it's a bit easier. So gold kept dropping to this zone here and it kept bouncing off, or it would not break this zone for a very long time. Like just kept coming near, would not break, and then I bounced. And I say zone because I don't just draw one line for support and resistance. There's zones. Just like how this is a box here, this is a verified resistance zone. This right here would be a support zone because gold has come into the zone, but it's rejected. It came down here, it rejected, and every time it came into the zone, I got to push up. Now, today it broke the zone. Boom, it broke it. So now what this means is normally when gold or any pair breaks a zone, the resistance turns into what a support. Sorry, the support, guys, sorry, turns into what a resistance. So a confirmation of this short-term sell is was this area previous support? Yes, it was. And what's it going to turn into, guys? A resistance. What do we do at the resistance? We sell. So that's a confirmation that this down arrow was actually very accurate because this was a support, now broke the support, turned resistance. And like I said, I look at past moves, right? I see that previously gold was at this level and it dropped. 9 times out of 10, the market's going to repeat itself. Gold is at this level again. Guess what? It's going to drop. So indicators telling me to sell. Okay, that's one confirmation. We're in a downtrend. That's 2 confirmations. This was a support, turned resistance. That's 3 confirmations. In the past, it dropped from here. That's 4 confirmations. I could confidently enter for this sell right now and at least catch a few pips to my untested support. Okay. Now at the support again, I would not buy because I'm in a downtrend. It can easily break. There's no verified support here for gold on any time frame except for the 4-hour time frame. So let's go to the 4-hour for a second. You guys can see the indicator has marked this as my verified support. So what does this mean? It means that in this zone right here, which is, let me see, this one right here on the 4-hour, we're like in the 1884, 1888 zone. There's a high chance that you can catch a nice buy from this zone. But again, I'm not looking for buys. I'm in a downtrend. But if I was, maybe 1880 to catch a buy to the top. But you're gonna be a lot more profitable if you just at least wait until we get to our resistance zones. Okay, so in this case, I mean, again, short-term trade, you can catch the sell on this pullback, or you wait to actually get a verified zone so you can catch that sell from 1906 all the way down back to the 1889. And gold moves pretty quickly. All the pairs do. So don't look at this and think that, oh, this is so far. It's actually not far at all. I mean, today, well, in the last 2 days, I showed you guys I caught the sell from 1910 all the way down. That only happened in 2 days. I mean, if you could look at the indicator and set a pending order and trade once or twice a week, you'll be so stress free, guys. Like, trust me, less is more sometimes when it comes to trading. So sometimes I will literally open the indicator on the 15-minute. I'll look at the overall trend. I see where the verified resistance is, and I set a sell limit or buy limit based on where it is, and I wait for the market to go there, and I just catch the drop. That's exactly what I did 2 days ago. So now I made $8,000 in 1 week off of 2 trades. You don't necessarily have to sit here all day and all night buying and selling. You can set orders and you can wait for your orders to activate. Okay. So that, guys, is how I caught the sell on the way down. Now, let's just say I'm looking for something to do on gold right now. Again, gold is still in my downtrend. We're in a weak support area that the indicator picked up. Why? Because it keeps bouncing off of this range here, but it is weak, which means I'm still not looking for any buys. I still want to look for those sells. So personally, I have a pending order set in this area at 1903. If it activates, it activates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm still going to be patient. I'm going to wait for the next setup. Okay. Now, if you're someone that wants to turn on the indicator and trade right away, again, I did go over that. This is a support turn resistance. We got the downtrend. We have the arrow. I mean, this is like a verified sell right here. So you could have entered as soon as the arrow popped up and you'd be in profit and you just continue to hold it. Now you'll probably wonder like why this X comes up. Normally if the indicator is getting a bit of traffic, so if it's consolidating, that's a good exit point, especially if you're just in for a quick scalp, okay? So we can see right here, like we had a sell right here, then we had some consolidation. That's a good exit point. But good thing we exited, because had we stayed in, we would have been in this sell and thought it was going to keep going down, but nope, it went up, it reversed, right? We had that exit point. So when you see those exit points, definitely take them. And then again, I wouldn't have gone for this buy just because we're in overall downtrend, but you could have caught a buy for a few pips. But look at what happens when you guys wait to trade with the trend versus going against it. You could have caught a buy here from 1893 to 1902, or you could have been patient and waited for the sell, where you could have caught the sell from 1903 all the way down here. So look at the difference between trading with the trend and going against it. When you go against the trend, you catch a lot less pips. But again, I mean, if you're on the lower time frames, you could wait. You don't have to wait, sorry. You can be quickly in and out the market. So if you look at the lower time frame, guys, the indicator actually mapped out support zones. So what this is telling me is that on the lower time frame, I could actually catch some nice buys, because I have a proven support and I have a verified support. Verified means gold has been bouncing off of this support for a while now on the 1 minute time frame. So if I'm a scalper and I'm looking at gold, I'm looking at the direction of the market in the last few minutes or so, not really overall. So I can tell that for a while now, gold has been in an uptrend. Okay, I can see that the indicator is showing me verified support zones, right? So now what I'm looking for is buys in my verified support zones. Proven support is a very strong support zone. It's a long-term buy that you can catch. Now, if I'm a scalper here, what I'm looking for is gold is actually dropping right now, but I'm looking for gold to drop back into this zone. I never get in the middle. I always get in when I'm in my zone. The candle closes, then we can go in for a buy right back up from this zone. Okay. Now it's a little riskier when you're scalping, because I mean it could break through this support right here. If that does happen, I always say, if you want to cut your losses, just cut it below your previous low. So for example, if I enter a buy right here and gold breaks below this area, I would cut it. Or you could layer and enter another buy position, or you wait until it gets to your proven support and enter for a big buy. Okay, so different things you can do based on your own strategy. But I'm not really a 1 minute trader. I don't really trade on the 1 minute time frame. But if you do, just look at your overall trend on that time frame, because even on the 5 minute, the last 5 minutes or so, I mean, we're still seeing a downtrend on the longer time frames, even on the 5 minute above. So on this downtrend, and gold is so slow right now, I would still be looking for a sell. If I was on the 5 minute, I'd wait for the market to come up here, right? And then I would sell at this level again. That's if I'm looking for just a quick in out position. But I'm the type of trader, like I said, I take my time with it. I wait for my verified resistance zone, and I just take it from there with other confirmations. So that, guys, is how I'm profitable with the bot. I've made over 3,000 this week on my personal account. We have people that have made over 20K using these strategies. Let me just show you guys this real quick. So even if we look right here, we got Corey got some buys on US 30 and Nas. And he actually showed me, because he was actually trading live on TikTok. He was in a verified support zone when he caught these buys. So he would wait. Let me show you guys how that looks. All right. He would wait for the market to actually go to the verified support zone, enter for the buy, get out. So based on those pictures, you would wait for the market to go to your verified support. Once it's there, you place that buy, you catch a few pips, you get out. Okay. So I really wish the market was moving quickly right now, so I could show you guys like in real time. When the market comes to this area, it keeps bouncing off, but gold is just extremely slow right now. The market's kind of about to close. But we did see that when we had the sell arrow that appeared here, that the market did drop. So you saw it working there. You saw it working there. As you can see, like the market is kind of pushing up, but this is it's rejecting this area,
right, where we have the sell. But look, we got that X to come out because the indicator senses a reversal in trend based off of candlestick pattern. So this is not just about arrows and support and resistance. The indicator actually picks up a lot of different things to show us what we should do in the market. And with your own confirmations, you can be very successful as well. So with that being said, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the community, so that you can see yourself firsthand how profitable this indicator actually is, how powerful it is when you're patient, and when you understand just basic things about the market. You don't have to be a pro. You guys can ask me questions whenever you want to. I'm here to support. Again, my name is Antoinette. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you all very soon.